Hello student. Today I am going to discuss tables of SQL. Okay. Uh, After creating the database, it is time to create the tables for the database. In a database, there are many tables. You can create multiple tables for the database as according to the requirement. Okay. Now, first of all, I am going to discuss what is table. So, table is nothing. It is the combination of rows and columns. Look at this picture. So, when we store our data into a particular memory location, and that will from the structure of a matrix, or it is the combination of rows and column. Okay, and that is the table. That means table, for creating the table, what to do? You have to group some columns and rows together. It is the collection of rows and columns. Okay, and the columns of the table are used to define the field or the attributes of a table. Okay, now what is field or what is attribute? Actually, when we are going to create the table, and the table is created based on a particular topic. Suppose I am going to create a table based on student. Okay, and after that, what to do? You have to find out the extra characteristics of that particular table, and the extra characteristics are known as attributes. Okay, like whenever you are going to create the table of a student, the roll number, the name, the class, the section, these are known as the fields or the attributes of that particular table. Okay, and these rows are basically used to enter the data for the fields. Whenever you create a table, we declare many fields, and in that particular field you have to enter the data, and the rows going to contain the data values of the particular field. Okay, so this is the concept of table. So table is nothing. This is the combination of rows and column, and the columns contain the field or attributes of a table, and the rows always contain the data for each unit. Okay. Now, before going to create the table, you have to follow some rules. Okay. So there are some basic rules whenever you are going to create the table. So let us discuss what are the rules. Rules for creating a table. The number one, table name. That means whenever you are going to create a table, you must give a name to the table. Okay, and when you are going to give a name to the table, what to do? Table name should start with letters. Okay, that means the first rule is it contain table name contain alphabet capital A to Z or small letter A to Z or 0 to 9 numbers. That means whenever you are going to give a name to the table, you must name the table using the alphabets, English alphabet. That is, you can use capital letters or you can use small letter. You can also use numbers, but table name must start with letters followed by numbers. That means you give a name of the table, you give the name by using a English alphabet letter. First you can write the English alphabet letter, after that you can give the numbers. Okay, so the first rule for creating the table is table name contain alphabets. Then number 2, table name can contain maximum 30 character. Okay, so when you name the table, the character length of the table name maximum of 30 characters. Okay, after that, next one is special character. This is known as underscore, is used to join two words. Okay, so we can use this special character which is known as underscore to join two words. Sometimes we need to name a table by joining two words, like total marks. For example, total marks. If I want to create a table name total marks, total is a separate word and marks is a separate word. Now what I want to combine both these words together to name the table. For this reason, you can use this underscore. Okay, how to use that? Total underscore marks. Okay, by using this special character, you can join two words for creating that table. Okay, and number 4, reserved word. Reserved word cannot be used. Reserved word cannot be used. Reserved word means some special words are used in MySQL, like the create. Create is the reserved word, or you select, drop, etc. There are some reserved word which cannot be used to name the table. Okay, so these are the rules for creating a table. Table name, first one is table name contain alphabet A to Z. That is, you can use the capital letter or small letter, or you can use the number, but table name must start with a letter, not with a number. Okay, table name can contain maximum 30 characters. That means the length of the table name is of 30 character maximum. After that, special character, this underscore, which is used to join two words. So whenever you are going to create a table name and you want to combine two words together, then you can use this special operator. This is known as underscore. After that, reserved word cannot be used. That means in MySQL we have some specific words which are reserved. Okay, and that type of reserved word like insert, select, drop, delete, you cannot use this type of word to create the table. Okay, and these are the rules. Now, how to create the table? Okay, for creating the table, we can use we are going to use a reserved word or a command, that is create. Create followed by table name. Table name. Okay. After that, give a round bracket. Here, after that, you use the field name. Field name. After that, actually, when you create the table, you use three important attributes, that is the field name, the data types, or the size of the attributes. Okay, so actually when you create the table, we are going to define the fields of the table first. Okay, so when you specify the field name, what to do? You have to give the data types of the field name. That means what type of data you want to enter for that specific field name. In the last class, we already discussed the many data types. It may be integer, it may be decimal, it may be character, or it may be varchar, or it may be date and time, isn't it? These are the data types. So when you create the table and when you specify the field name, you must specify the data types and the size of the field. Okay, so here I am going to write the data type. Data type. Okay, data type. Then you write the size. Okay, some other important constraints are also used whenever you create the table, like primary key. Primary key. Okay, and then you can specify not null, slash null. Okay, after that, as because we are going to declare many fields in a table, okay, we can have many fields inside one table, and you can separate the fields by using this comma. Now I am going to declare one more field here, like field name, then data type, then size, and after that not null, oblique null. Okay, now look at here. For this syntax, I use two fields. That's why these fields are separated by this comma operator. Okay. After that, we can declare many more fields. So here I use dot 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 and close the table by using this round bracket and a semicolon. End of the table declaration is defined by using this semicolon. Okay, now look at this. Look at the board. This is the syntax for creating table of for a particular database. Okay. Now for creating the table, we use a special word, or you can say this is a reserved word. Okay, so I use create followed by the table name. Okay, after create you use a table name, and you must follow the rules for giving the name of the table. Okay, after that give a round bracket. This indicate the begin, and the round bracket close with a semicolon. This is the closing of the body of the table creation. Okay, in between the round bracket, opening round bracket and closing round bracket, we are going to define the fields of the table, and we are going to separate the fields by comma operator. When you are going to specify the fields for the table, you separate the field name by using a comma operator. Okay, and when you specify the field name, you have to specify the data type. That means what type of data you are going to enter for that particular field. After that, the size. Okay, basically the size is declared for the character data type. Okay, so if you declare integer, then it is not required. The size is not required. So when you are going to use the character data type, then you have to declare the size of that particular field. After that, primary key. Okay, primary key. This is one of the constraint which is used at the time of declaration of the table. Okay, so primary key is a unique key. Okay, and that will uniquely identify one record of a table. That means when you specify a field as primary key, then using the field you can select or you can specify one record of the table. Okay, after that, not null oblique null. The not null constraint basically used whenever you want that you want to enter some value for that particular field. Without entering value for that particular field, you cannot jump to the next field of the table. That means at the time of the insertion of data value of the table, sometimes we need to enter the value of a particular field. That means which is very important. If you do not enter that particular data value for that field of the table, then it will create problem. Okay, so that if I want that data value must be entered for that particular field, then you can use not null. So if you use not null constraint for that particular field, then what will happen? Without entering the data value for that particular field, you cannot move to the next field of the table. Or if you use null constraint, then without entering the data value for the field, you can move to the next field of the table. Okay, so this is the syntax for creating the table of MySQL. Okay, now I am going to create a table from your book. That there is an example, and based on the example, I am going to create the table for MySQL. Okay. First of all, I am going to write down important field names and the data, what type of data types or other constraint we need for that particular table. So I am going to write the table specification from your book, and that is of all, column name, after that data type, after that size, and the last one is constraint. Okay, and column name is, the first one is roll number, then data type int, size, no need to specify the size for integer data type, then constraint is primary key. I am using the word pk for primary key, and the next field name is name, data type varchar, and the size is 20, and the constraint is not null. Okay, the next field, that is total marks, and data type is int, then grade, character, size 2, then the last one is date of result. And the data type is date, time. Okay, and one constant is, that is not null. Now I am taking this table specification from your book. That is, we are going to create a table. Name is student. Okay, so I am going to create a table and give the name of the table as student, and inside this student table we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field. Okay, and the first one is roll number, and you have to specify the data type as int, then constraint, you have to declare the roll number as primary key. After that name, then data type is varchar, and the size is 20, and you have to declare one constraint for the name, that is not null. That means without entering the name of a particular student, you cannot jump to the next field, that is total marks of the table. You have to enter the name of the student for that particular field, as because we are going to use a constraint, that is not null. Okay, after the total marks, then the data type is integer. We are not going to specify any constraint. Then grade, then character, size is 2, and the last one is date of result, and we are going to use that date and time, and this is also not null. That means you have to enter the date of result. Okay, now this is the table specification, and based on this specification we are going to create the table. Okay, now for creating the table, what to do? We are going to use a special reserved word, that is known as create. Create, after that give the name of the table, and what is the name of the table? That is student. And this is the begin, and now what to do? You have to give the field name, that is roll number int, give some space in between the roll number field name and the data type int. Okay, after that primary key. Okay, so as specified for the roll number, that is roll number int, and we use this field as primary key. Now time to specify another field. So then here I use a comma operator to separate the field name. Okay, the next field name is name. After that, data type is varchar. Okay, sorry, this is not varchar, and size is 20. So round bracket, you write 20. After that, not null. Okay, again I give a comma operator. The next field name is total mark, that is of integer type. Again here I give a comma, then I use grade, and this is character, size is 2, comma, date of result, and the data type is date and time. Date and not null. Okay. So here I specify all the field as on according to the question, and I end the table creation by closing the round bracket and with a semicolon. Okay. Now look at this table specification. Student, it is very easy to create the table. Once you have the table specification, it is you just use the create reserved word and use the table name, give the round bracket, then according to the specification you specify the field name. That the first name is roll number and we want data type as int. After that I use one constraint, that is primary key, and give a comma. Next I specify the name field, then again give a comma, then I specify total marks, then grade, and the last one is date of result. So this is the structure of the table. Okay, so this is the structure of a table. Actually the structure of the table, at the time of the creation of the table, we create the structure of the table. There we specify the field names along with their data types and some constraint. Okay, so here in this table structure we are using two constraint, that is one is primary key or the another is not null. Okay, so this is the structure of a table, and you when you create this table it will be stored inside the MySQL server. Okay, now time to displaying the table structure. That means after creating the table, if you want to display the table structure, then we are going to use a special command, that is you can write describe followed by the student name, that is table name, that is student. Describe student, okay, comma, or you can write insert DESC student. Okay, so when you write this command, MySQL display the structure of the table. Okay, so from your book, look at here. So when you write describe student, it will display the structure of the table with field name, the size and the constraints. Okay, so this is the process to create a table and display the structure of the table. Okay, after creating the table, what to do now? Entering data value for the table. Okay, and for entering data value of the table, what to do? Next, one more time, we are going to use a special command that is known as insert. The insert command is used for entering data value into the table. Okay, so here I am going to use the insert command to enter data value into the student table. Okay, so insert into next, what to do? You have to give the table name, that is student. Insert into student. Okay, after that write values. Insert into student, next write values, and after that give a round bracket. Okay, now as mentioned the field name, you enter the values for that particular field. So what is the first field of that student table? That is roll number. So here I am going to enter a roll number, that is 1. The next one is name. Suppose XYZ, comma, give a single quotation mark whenever you are going to enter character value for that table. Okay, for the number value need not to give any quotation mark, but when you are going to enter character value for a table, give a single quotation mark. Then again comma, after that total marks, suppose 300, give comma, then grade, suppose A1, okay, comma, then date, suppose 2014 03 25. Give a quotation mark, give the round bracket and close it. Okay, so when you write insert into the student values 1 XYZ, this is the name, then 300 for the total marks, A1 for the grade, and then date of result, like that. It will be entered into the table student. Okay, now if you want to display the data value that are entered using the insert command, so what to do? You write select command. Select. Give a asterisk symbol which is pronounced as all. Select all. Then give the table name, that is student. Okay, so when you write select all from student, semicolon. So when you write select all from student, then the server will display this data value on the computer screen that are entered using the insert command. Okay, so this is the process for creating a table. In the creation of the table, we specify the field name along with their data type and some size and with some constraint. Okay, now after creating the basic structure of the table, you can enter the data value of the table by using the insert table command. Insert into command. So there you enter the data values like this. So you can enter multiple data values by using comma operator. Okay. After that, if you want to display the content of the table, so use the select command. This asterisk symbol is pronounced as select all from student. So whenever you write this command, the SQL server will display the data values that you enter into the table. Okay, so that's all for today. In the next class, I am going to discuss one more new concept. Okay, thank you.